Everyone enjoys getting out on the town for some live music. And there's nothing like going backstage and down the hall for a VIP pass to the inside information and interviews with the bands, singers, and songwriters that you enjoy. Welcome to Hall Around Town Radio's Backstage Hall Pass, a showcase of homegrown talent, mixing independent music with personal interviews and a behind-the-scenes look at our music community. Backstage Hall Pass is your front row center seat to some great conversation with the area's most talented artists. Whether you like rock, blues, folk, country, or R&B, Backstage Hall Pass delivers you a daily dose of the stories behind the music. And now, here's the host of our show, Scott Hall.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to a Wednesday. It is Wednesday, I think. We're doing Whatever Wednesday today. If you're out there, make a comment. Let me know who you are. I see Roy Wesson checking in. Sepia Heyday in the house. Kara's on the board today. Douglas Hunt has joined us on a Wednesday. Thank you for being here. Say hi out there, guys. Drop a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Going to talk real quick about a couple of things today. Won't be a long show at all, but going to keep you on the edge of your seat, hopefully, as we talk about a few things. What's up, Mr. Bolio? How are you? B-Man is in the house. Good to have you with us today. If y'all been following our page and following what's going on with Hot Topic Tuesday, it's kind of taken a life of its own. So we're going to chat about that for a minute today. We're going to get your input on some things today and hopefully move forward with that one every Tuesday with my co-host Karis from the Bell and the Bear in Montgomery, Ohio. She joins me every week on Tuesday. We're looking for other co-hosts too. If you're interested in being a co-host on any other shows here, we'd love to have you join us, especially for our Thursday Who's Playing Out and various other projects we've got going on, our Monday Weekend in Review. So if you're interested, let me know. Send me a message. What's up, Douglas? Thanks for being here. Stephanie Rumke, good to see you there. Sup, Roy. Sup. How are you? Bob Flanagan, thank you. Hi, Butch. 0 Hour in the house. What's going on, Kara? And Zup from B-Man. What do we got? Oh, you guys get your shameless plugs in for 0 Hour, don't you? Hi, James. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you listening on the way home. Just don't look. I've got a face for radio anyway. So be glad to have you join us here on this wonderful, wonderful Wednesday here in Southwest Ohio where the weather is miserable. It is. Hi, James Banks, Steve Abshaw. Thank you. John Barry joining the party. So on the page today, just about an hour ago, actually, we posted if you have a favorite band, drop their picture in the post comments and mention them. And man, it's going crazy. Thank you for that. We appreciate you doing that. And it doesn't have to be your favorite. It can be many favorites. I've had a few comments. There's too many to mention. I get that. I couldn't do just one either. I'd have to add a bunch. But throw it in there. If you're up later and you want to drop by the page and drop that in there, we'd love to hear from you. Yes, we would. What else we got here? Jim McCarthy, how are you? Just Scott today. No friends. I have no friends. Yes. Finally awake to hear me live. Thank you, Mr. Banks. Can I call you Banco? Yeah, how about that? Hola, Patricia. Thank you, Patricia. Man, that's a great picture. You in the fun in the sun there. That's where we all need to be, is at the beach. Hi, Cricket. How are you? Thanks for being here. Do I have my cricket noise ready? There it is. Yes, Cricket in the house. Good to have you with us. Mike from the Whammies. You're excited to hear about Whatever Wednesday. Jim Klontz is here from Drive. Thank you for being here. Patricia's heading to the beach next week. You're making me jealous. You are. All right, we're going to get started real quick. Like I said, won't be a long show today on a Wednesday because, there are Wednesdays we have bands. We call it Wednesday with the band. Other Wednesdays we don't have bands. And some Wednesdays where we do have a band, but they cancel. Lots of cancellations. People are afraid to come on, especially after hearing Karis yesterday. No, that was a great topic yesterday on Top 5 Tuesday. And CPA Heyday is now custom rhythm and punk, or crap for short. I love it. I love it. That's funny. I did a round of music trivia this year at one of my nights that I did crap round. It was called. It was country rock alternative, and pop. Yeah, it's fun. And then at the end of the round, we ran out of rotation, so we did a rap song at the end. Lots of fun. All right, let's talk about yesterday. First and foremost, guys, you blew it up. Thank you for commenting, sharing, liking. Huge viewership on that one with Karis and I, and we both appreciate it. I talked to her earlier today, and she was just blown away by the response we're getting to that Tuesday show. It's all because she's here in her beautiful hair. It's not because of me. You see my old face all the time. Hi, Anthony. Thanks for being with us today. Good to have you here. So here's what I want to do today on Whatever Wednesday. If you're watching today or you're watching after we're live, I'd love you to drop a comment so I can grab the comments, and I want you to drop comments about what you would like to hear us talk about on Hot Topic Tuesday. It has to be about music or venues and things like that. It's not about the politics or the ways of the world, but it can be about band politics if you want. That's another hot button topic. But you can drop it in the comments. Please throw it in these comments today, and we'd love to hear from you. And understand that we may use whatever you say. We did yesterday. We had, I think it was Sheila that commented that she wanted to hear about set list. And man, we opened Pandora's box with that one yesterday. That was a lot of fun. So what else? If you're out there, guys, drop us a comment. I see Jason Brown is here. Chris Reese is watching. Good to have you with us, Crease. Crease, as I know him. So what do you think, folks? I want to see some comments. What would be a good topic for Hot Topic Tuesday? Something that's a little edgy, maybe a little, I hate the term controversial because the world is full of controversy, but something that's going to spark the interest of folks to make comments and give their opinion. There's a whole lot of opinions in the music business, people. You know it. If you play in the music business, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And you can do that. Jim McCarthy checking in on the YouTube channel. Thank you, Jim, for that. Chris says sup also. There's a lot of supping going on here today. There really is. Butch wants to know why there seems to be so many cover bands than original bands in Cincinnati. Oh, I could talk about that one. Yeah, that'd be a good one. Like I said, we're going to grab these comments off the page. So as you make them today, please throw them in there for us to use. Hi, Scott Luck. Thanks for dropping in today. Breaking into a local scene. That's a good one, Jim. It is. And man, that could get clicky because there's a lot of clicks out there, aren't there? There are. There's some venues you couldn't get in if you had a crowbar and a 357. Nope. Just wouldn't work. Notice how old I am. I said 357. Now it's 9. All right. Roy. Best promotional media ideas. Thank you, Mike, for that. Yeah, one that's on our list already that'll be down the road is social media for musicians. And man, that'll be a hotbed. Because we all know how just an article came out in Cincinnati, or one of the news stations did yesterday, about the hacking of business Facebook pages. And Karis got hers hacked and lost all, they said 25,000. I think she had 10,000 plus followers on her Facebook page, and so did some other bars in Cincinnati. They get hijacked by people, and then they're sending bad things over your messenger, and they end up shutting the page down. It's all computerized. You can't talk to a human. Michelle Robinson had the same thing. Somebody came onto her page and said she was basically had a co-host now on her page, and she didn't put them on, and now they co-own her page, and it's just nuts. So that'll be another day, another dollar, obviously. James Banks, what's Cincinnati, man? Oh, there we go. Cincinnati has show bands. Dayton has cover bands. Yeah, and Cincy does have show bands, a lot of them, but there's few and far between all original bands. And we've discussed this on the show before, and we'll get into that in deep thought when we do it on a top 5 or a Hot Topic Tuesday. But it's tough. It's tough for all original bands out there to get booked. It is. And bands that are using backing tracks. Ooh, yeah, I'll talk on that one too. That one, there's certain things that help, and obviously you put on a good show, and yeah, we'll talk on that one. Certain things that just irritate the hell out of me. And Like I said, most of you know I listen a lot to radio about music, and Eddie Trunk has a daily show, and you get him started on backing tracks, man, he loses his mind. He hates backing tracks and ghost singers backstage. And I did a show one time that Ozzy Osbourne was at, and Ozzy had ghost singers backstage. He was out front on the mic, but somebody else was singing the words backstage. It was interesting how that worked. Not just harmonies, but the lead vocal. Probably get sued for saying that, but that's the way it works. Yes. Seems like the market is more favorable for it. Play a lot of originals, but people want to hang out and listen to things. Yeah. And Scott, you're exactly right. I mean, you go to a national concert and, I'll use it. Let's see, who did I see this year that did this? Oh, hell. It was somebody really big. And they said, oh, I'm going to bring you a couple from my new album. Everybody got up and went to get a beer. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, just the diehard fans were sitting there listening to their new music. And unless it becomes relevant or a hit, that's a great topic. Thank you for that. Yes. Yeah, that's a good one. Dedicated websites necessary. Will Facebook do? That's a good one. I will say, and one thing we'll mention when we do that is we'll talk about the fact that we put our eggs in one basket, man. I mean, Facebook, I like Glenn that comes on here on the YouTube channel every day. He's always in my proverbial butt about dumping Facebook and doing all YouTube. Well, I can't get the followers on YouTube I get on Facebook to get the bang for your buck in supporting local music. So we're putting our eggs in that basket. If it gets pulled out from under us, it's just like all the people who were tweeters. Look what's going to happen there. Maybe, it's crazy. What's up, Chris Thompson? Yes. Kara doesn't know if it's a whole topic. Appreciates local bands that appreciate when you come to their show. Yeah. Yeah. There's people who work the room and people who don't work the room. That's a good topic, Kara. That'd be a good day topic. Hey, Scotty Long, thanks for being here. Eric Sears. Yes. Last time you saw Journey, they had a ghost guitar player and singer. Absolutely. It's going on a whole lot. It really is. And, to think if somebody says Milli Vanilli today, it's like, oh, disgrace. They got a Grammy for, it's been going on for years. They just got caught. There's a whole lot of tracks and a whole lot of things happening. Hey, Jamie, we're talking about yesterday's show, which was a smashing success on our Hot Topic Tuesday, where we talked about set lists and things. And next week on the set list, we're going to hit more on how much control should a venue have over a band's set list. A little more on that one. That was a hot button. And also, who makes the set list in the band and how do they determine the final product? And then who's allowed to call an audible and change it if the crowd doesn't like it? Is the venue owner allowed to come up and say, hey, you're killing it with the slow songs tonight. People are leaving. Or do you take offense to that? So that's coming up next week on Tuesday. Hi, Jeff Morris. Hi, Gary. And Matt Matheny. You just heard what we were talking about today. So there you go. Yes. And yeah, Scott, that's an opportunity, I think, when you open for a larger group to share some of your original stuff. I think that's a good opportunity because folks are not there to hear cover songs. They're here to hear the cover songs of the artist who's the headliner. So I think that's a plus. Scotty likes the dungeon look. Yeah. Kara said that yesterday when I had it up and she was like, no, it looks like we're in prison. Well, I can change the background anytime we want. Let's see what I got here. Let's do something different. I had the fun stuff up yesterday where we were like on the beach, but there I can make that look a little better. Less dungeony. How about that? Thanks. Or I can go just plain white. That's ugly. I don't like that. All right. Let's see who else is commenting. If you have a comment that you want to see something for us to do on our Hot Topic Tuesday, drop it in there and let me know. And Jamie says the more platforms you use, the more listeners you have. Thank you. And Jamie Kress does his own thing. He's got a studio and does some really good work. And yes, there's platforms. A lot of people don't know it, but a lot of our material, the audio, goes to other platforms. But most people like to watch the video for some reason. Hell, I don't know why they want to look at my face, but they do. But if you're ever at the gym and you want to listen to it, you can do that. And I'll give you those at another time, another place. Hi, Anthony Smith. Thank you, Jamie. And remember, guys, your comments, and sometimes I don't know what they mean because they're a minute late or so. And hi, Skip from Liars for Hire. Yes. Scott says nothing against anyone that likes them, but along with backing tracks, I really dislike the sound of harmony pedals for vocals. Yeah, and there's people that don't use them well. And I will say one example of that is David Thornton, who does a great job. And he doesn't overplay the looper, the pedals, any of that stuff. But it's put in at the right time. Where I came from in Florida, on the beach, there were, I always say like 60 bars in this 7 Mile Island. And all these folks played solo because they couldn't make any money otherwise. They didn't get paid for squat. So everything was done with a looper and a harmony pedal and all that. You go into a place and hear it say, man, that band sounds great. And it's just one guy sitting up there and all these harmony vocals going on. So, yeah, it's interesting. That's a whole nother one to talk about. I'll put all these on the list, and then Karis and I'll decide which ones we want to hit. And we're going to do it. And Mike would like to learn more about Instagram, Snapchat, and their benefits, but YouTube videos haven't helped this old guy. No. Somebody message him. Slide into his DMs, as we said yesterday. And if you have an inside track, or there's anybody out there that would like to help a lot of us, we'd love to have you on the show. If you have a great knowledge of social media and how to get it more engagement and all that, I'd love to have somebody on the show to talk about that. On a Wednesday, we could do that for sure. And Eric says, when he opens for bigger national acts, we play more originals, especially on a short set. Yeah, what an opportunity to sell your originals. I mean, that's a given, isn't it, Eric? I mean, when the KMB's up there, they're playing his original stuff, and hopefully people hear it and go out and stream it and do whatever they got to do to get it. And Cricket says, here's a topic. Why do bands think they need to be so loud? And many venues they go to because it's too loud. That's interesting. And, you know, Mrs. All Around Town takes her earplugs everywhere. That's why if you ever talk to her when we're out and about and you see her with me and you try to talk to her and she's like, huh? It's because she's got earplugs in. She does that all the time. But she's going to be able to hear when she's older, and I'm not. I heard fire sirens in my ears for years, so I know I'm doomed. Matt Matheny, social platforms great for free advertising. And I agree with you 100%. Shaking hands, kissing babies is where it's at. It's how you win elections. It's how you win as a music artist, to get out there. And also having your friends support you that are in the music business. I love every chance I get at anything I'm doing. If there's musicians in the audience, I recognize them and name their band. And you never know who might pick up on that. And likewise, when I'm out seeing musicians play and another musician stops in and they recognize them, that's awesome. And I will say, like, I'll go somewhere and let's say I go watch DV8. Melissa always gives me a shout out from the stage for what we're doing here. And I appreciate that so much. So often I go into a place and people recognize you and they're like, hey, you're the guy that does the who's playing out and all that stuff. But nobody ever says anything beyond that. And it's really nice to have somebody give you a shout out. And I always try to say you do that for every musician that comes in the room, even if you don't invite them up on stage. I get it. Sometimes it's a closed set and you can't bring them up, but you know, it's just courtesy. It's just professional courtesy. In-ear monitors versus floor wedges. Amen to that one, Butch. That's a good one. That's one we can talk about. That keeps the stage volume down. We know that. Hello, Bonnie. Bob Flanagan. Yeah, nothing better than a cue siren and an air horn. That's right. To ruin your right ear if you're riding in the officer's seat. And Scotty said he'd like to get more people out to his karaoke gigs, especially at Froggy's. Trying to get some ideas that'll help. Okay. Well, there's a shameless plug for Froggy's, who's our sponsor of Thursday's show, who's playing out, that they do karaoke every Wednesday night at Froggy's with DJ Songs. Get out there. Jim McCarthy, how are you? Yes, Lou says everybody likes shout out. Yeah, and I think just acknowledging your regular followers. If you've got somebody that comes and sees you once a week as a musician and you don't recognize them once in a while on the microphone, you're missing the boat. You are. And then I know some people come back at me and say, well, if I say something to them, other people be pissed, and everybody gets pissed about everything. So quit worrying about it. Just acknowledge those who support you. That's the important thing. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Let's get rid of that. All right. Bye-bye. I'm going to make that one go bye-bye. I just put that user in timeout, as it's called. Okay. Well, thank you, Butch. I appreciate that. I still have to get out and see, and it's hard for me to get out and see everybody that's on here, but I try. Bands need to work together versus against each other. That's a whole day's topic as well. It is. All right. So, yes, girls18.xyz was just blocked from the program, just so you know. Compliments of StreamYard, who picks up when I hit the button and says, that is spam or hackers or something. It is. What's Jamie got to say? We're going to have to finish this up. I said it'd be a short show today, but we're rambling here, so we'll get through it. Let's see. Loves when the bands comment on their Facebook posts. Yes. And I'll tell you a pet peeve of mine, and it's one that I have done numerous times just to test the waters a little bit, Jamie. And every week I have 3 gig submission groups that the bands send their information to me on, and we copy it, we paste it into the prompter here, and we are able to read it on Thursdays on our list, as we call it. And numerous times I've put on that comment board, hey, if you don't mind, as you're a band and we're talking about you, share the show on our page and get your fans to know that we're doing this. What do I get out of that? Most days. Yeah. And that's one that kind of, we could talk about that too. We could, supporting each other. Yeah. Yes. Scott says a lot of people are going to no amps on stage through a processor. Yeah. And that's a whole nother comment. That's a great one, because we could have some musicians on to talk about that, and some who prefer a wedge monitor and a loud Marshall stack behind them versus the musicians who are now playing through the processors and such, and pedal boards and all that, and going direct to the PA. Could be fun. Luann wants to know what constitutes being timeout. When you post on here, come look at my naked pictures, that's when you go to timeout. That's how that happens, because we're not here to sell, as they said, girls 18. Yeah, no thank you. No thank you. Yes. H&R Rock acknowledges each new member to their Facebook page. There's an algorithm to do that on Facebook. You can do that on your groups or pages. However, my visitors section on my Haul Around Town has been screwed up since day one. And that's where I need some young person who knows how to do all this to help me, because it's a challenge. Bonnie says, shout out to Heath. He played Mom's 90th birthday, had rave reviews. Crowd was 18 to 90. Yes. Heath Bowling knows how to work a room. He does. Yes. Thank you, Butch, for sharing the show. I appreciate it. The Cricket loves to support venues music. Yes. So Cricket is on YouTube, and she does a lot of videos on YouTube. And Cricket, don't be offended when we do a show about that, though. We're going to do a show about, do cell phone videos help or hinder a band? That's going to be another one. And there's reasons behind it. And I'm not directing that at you. So know that before I do that. But there's some interesting. Scott says Wedge and Marshall for him. And deafness. Yes, like Jamie Combs every week at the Thursday Jam. That, and when Danny Laverty gets on drums, I always tell Jeff Vance, the sound man, can we get a little more snare in there? Because you're hearing the snare outside the parking lot. It's so damn loud. Yes. Thank you, Scotty Long, for that. Yeah. And get people up to sing a song they know or something. That's fun. As long as it doesn't become bandioke, because I'm there to see a band. I'm not there to see somebody sing off key. And, I'll admit, I got up with Kevin McCoy the other night. sang off key. So there. But most people weren't there to see that. So I realized that quickly and get the hell back to my seat and drink beer. Yes. Thank you, Drive, for plugging the show. Always. You guys are always there. Steve Short. Hello. Mike took the best photos and videos at the Globe party. Thank you, Mike. Cricket, did you hear that? All right. There we go. That's perfect, Cricket. That's what I say too, because you never know who's standing next to you singing off key that's overpowering the band, and then people think it's the band and some things like that. It gets crazy. Yeah, sound is very different than being there live, and it picks up a lot of the more of the vocal than it does the musicianship, and yeah, it's interesting. So, does every song need more cowbell? There's our topic of the week. That's perfect. All right, guys, I got to bail out of here. I've been on here too long rambling, but it's whatever Wednesday. That's why we call it that. And Bonnie says I don't sing off key. Yes, you've heard me do karaoke. I know, but there it is. Hello, McBlankenship, our resident local rocker, rock star. Merry Christmas to you too. Thank you, Dad. My dad checking in. Thank you for being here. And Jamie, have a good night. Thank you all for being here today, guys. Thanks for the input. If you're watching us after we're live, please drop in the comments what you'd like to see on Hot Topic Tuesday. Yesterday was Off the Hook. It'll be a repeat of that on next Tuesday, where we're going to bring part 2 of band set lists. Who makes them, who breaks them, and who gets to decide when they change them. So that's where it's going to be. Thank you, Dick Fletcher. Good to see you yesterday, my friend. And Scotty Long, have a great night. What else we got here? A couple more comments coming in when we're out of here, everybody. Hello, Jill. Thanks for being here. Jim McCarthy. Y'all have a great night. Get out and support some live local music. If you're in the Springboro area, Mr. Burroughs Tavern's got that Queen of Hearts drawing tonight at 8 o'clock. It's over $22,000 tonight. You can grab some cash if you go in there. Be fun. I was there last night for trivia. I had a great night with folks. Thank you, Eric Sears. Love you, my friend. We'll see you next time, guys, here at All Around Town Radio. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 o'clock with Who's Playing Out, brought to you by Froggies in Monroe, the best musicians and venues in the tri-state featured on that show at 5. We'll see you then. Bye.